The New Orleans Pelicans are stuck with a huge problem, and I'm not really confident that they can go ahead and fix this huge problem. Now, before I dig into the New Orleans Pelicans roster and what this huge problem is, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. It really helps out this channel. And let me know who your favorite Pelican player is all time, because there's a lot of good ones out there. Let me know who it is, and let's get into it with this Pelicans roster and my take on it. Honestly, I really like this Pelicans roster. I had them as a dark horse last year to do some stuff in the West, but of course, that problem we'll get into later. Pelicans got a nice roster. They got Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy III, Jonas Valanciunas, Jose Alvarado. They got some nice pieces, some really nice pieces for this New Orleans Pelicans team. Also Larry Nance Jr., just an all-around nice squad. This team was doing stuff at the beginning of the year. At one point, they were the first seed in the West. They were killing it until the problem started being a problem again. Zion Williamson is the problem for the New Orleans Pelicans. Zion was drafted with the first overall pick in 2019. He's shown flashes of greatness, but also shown flashes of being a problem. Zion was drafted with the #1 pick to be a whole changer for the New Orleans Pelicans, to be the superstar of the franchise, be that guy who leads the team and just dominates in the NBA. And Zion has done that when he's on the court. This year in the games that he played, he averaged 26.7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 60% field goal shooting. When Zion is healthy and he's on the court, this man is a beast and is a superstar. This guy was technically an all-star starter this year. I have no idea how with all them games he missed, but he was an all-star starter this year, so that's how you know this man can do great things when he's on the court. Of course, Zion signed a supermax extension with the Pelicans, so currently he's getting paid $34 million a year next year, and he's not a free agent until 2028. He's also 23 years old. Now, the big thing of why Zion's not the court, and the big reason why everyone thinks Zion's not in the court, is weight and health concerns. The reason why everybody thinks this, well, there's a weight clause in his contract, and there's a whole bunch of reports that Zion was gaining weight in some of the offseason, and it's just not looking good for Zion. And that weight clause is 295 pounds. If he exceeds 295 pounds, things are not good, and I think they can take money out of his contract if he does exceed this weight. Which, this makes sense to have this weight clause in his contract, because we've seen him gain weight, and he's had these injuries, these foot injuries, like this year he was playing well and playing fine, and this foot injury just happened, and he was pretty much out for the whole year. Didn't play another game of basketball. He's missed so many games now. It's honestly crazy, and it's funny how bad the 2019 draft class is for those top 3 picks. But here's the thing with this weight clause in Zion's contract, and Zion being a member of the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans need him on the court, and they need him to play. As you guys can see, it's evident. When he's on the court and he plays well, it's amazing for the Pelicans. He averages like 28 points. He's super explosive. He can do a ton of things on the court, and it's just greatness when he's on the court. This is like a huge problem for them, because without Zion on the court, you can see that their ceiling and floor of the team starts falling. Like this year, they were a 1 seed. You could probably say they were a team that could have made some moves in the playoffs if Zion was healthy. But as you can see, as Zion started missing games and it was just McCollum and Brandon Ingram, things just started falling, and they fell right into that play-in team spot. The ceiling of the team drastically changes with Zion in and Zion out the lineup. And with this, going into the offseason this year, there's a lot of questions about Zion, and the question was, are the Pelicans gonna go ahead and trade Zion? Zion, like I said earlier, is only 23 years old, so there potentially could be some value there if you were to trade for him, but that one thing is that staying healthy and staying on the court aspect of it. There are some trade talks about, you know, Zion getting traded for the #3 pick for the Blazers. That was a huge talk, how they could pair Dame and Zion up together maybe. There's a whole bunch of talks, but nothing even happened. But that's another huge thing. The Pelicans trading Zion, is that a possibility in the NBA and a possibility for the New Orleans Pelicans? Now, here's the thing. I think, honestly, if this stuff keeps happening and he keeps being overweight and it's just not working out, the Pelicans could potentially trade him. I don't think he's going to be traded next year or anything like that. I think he's going to stay on the team. But if this really starts not working out for the Pels, could they potentially trade him? What would a trade like that look like? Because if they were to trade him, the other team would kind of want some leverage and not have to give out a whole king's ransom for Zion because of that overweight clause. So in the Pelicans' mind, they're like, well, we want a bag for this guy because at times he can be a superstar, but the other team would be like, well, he's not always on the court, so you're gonna have to lower the price down. Honestly, this is just a huge question for the Pelicans going into the future, because like I said, when Zion is fully healthy and if he can get his weight under control, they could keep him. I think they can honestly maybe, just maybe go ahead and push for a championship or at least make it to the Western Conference Finals in the future. They have a nice team. They got Zion, they got McCollum, they got Brandon Ingram. They have a nice nice team. It's just Zion is that one X factor that needs to be fixed somehow. They have to figure out what they want to do with him, because honestly, if, like I said, if he can't stay on the court, a trade might have to happen. Because I mean, if you look at the stats, rookie year, he only played 24 games. 2020 to 2021 season, only played 61 games. It got better. But then the 2021 to 2022 season, he didn't play at all because he had a foot injury. And then this year, he only played 29 games, but somehow was still an all-star starter, like I said earlier. It's just really sad for the New Orleans Pelicans, because when this guy's healthy, he's just an all-around beast on the court. Like I've said, we've seen flashes of greatness from Zion. This man Zion can be an absolute monster if he just gets his weight stuff under control and can somehow just fix his health and put it in a good spot. This Pelicans team could be very dangerous, and a very dangerous team in the playoffs with this starting lineup that they have. But like I said, this all depends on Zion Williamson. Maybe the Pelicans need to go all have a sit-down conversation, even though they probably already have multiple times, and talk about this to Zion. Be like, hey, we're trying to win a championship, and if you're not going to comply to your contract rules that you got to stay under this weight and you need to start playing games and stuff, you need to like get into shape and stuff so you're not missing games, we're going to trade you. Because like this is starting to get ridiculous, honestly. Like this is what, year 4 of Zion? This his super max extension kicks in this year. Like this is honestly starting to get wild, and I'm starting to be like, well, the Pelicans are in a super bad spot now. And the Pelicans, it's evident that they have a problem, and their problem is Zion Williamson, and they need to go ahead and find some way somehow to fix this problem. Let me know what you guys think in the comments though, because I especially want to know what you guys think, what the New Orleans Pelicans should do and how they should fix this problem of Zion Williamson, because this problem really isn't easy to fix. You don't get a guy like Zion Williamson that plays like that when he's healthy all the time. You don't get a #1 overall pick player all the time in the NBA. If I'm the Pelicans, I need to find some way to get Zion on the court, because that's probably your best chance at winning a championship. I don't think you're going to win one by trading some stuff for Zion. Depending on what pieces you could potentially get, your team could look completely different if you were to go ahead and trade Zion and maybe trade him for like some other players. I don't know if McCollum and Brandon Ingram can go ahead and lead this team all the way to a championship. I don't think they can. They need an X-factor superstar in Zion Williamson, and I think they need to find some way to just get Zion healthy. It's the only thing they can do if they really have championship aspirations and really want to go win a championship. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what do you guys think about Zion Williamson and what the New Orleans Pelicans should do in this situation, because they're in a tough situation, I cannot lie. And honestly, there's not many ways on how they should fix this. And also, you guys should watch these 2 videos right here. They're great work by me. I would really appreciate if you guys watch them. And everyone watching this, have a nice day. I'll see y'all in the next one.